Hello, I'm Pam Portland. I'm standing in the town square of Bastogne. It was here in the winter of 1944 where Hitler made his final attempt to turn the war around. Germany's last reserves attacked on December 16th. The fight that ensued became the U.S. Army's biggest battle ever, involving more than 600,000 troops. It became known as the Battle of the Bulge. This town was completely surrounded until Patton's Third Army broke through the day after Christmas. It's a moment in time that this town has not forgotten. For the past 25 years, the city of Bastogne has hosted an annual march along the perimeter of the battlefield. Maurice Spirendieu is the organizer. He started with a small group 25 years ago. And since then, the march has attracted hundreds, and this year, an all-time high, more than 1,000 marchers, coming from as far away as Grafenwehr, Germany.
Why would anybody in the Army want to go to the field on your own time? I don't know. I think because I really like this, and I like the history, and also, it's basically to experience what the veterans did.
They come in groups and march as units. They bring their kids and their dogs and their musical instruments. They bring vintage vehicles and wear period clothing. The march even attracts some Germans.
Usually what I do is studying history and English, and I want to become a teacher and to experience what history is like or what the lives were in former times. I'm here.
In 1945, Maurice Spirendieu was an 18-year-old soldier in the Belgian army. He marched from Luxembourg to Czechoslovakia with Patton's Third Army. Today, he marches to keep the memory of the Battle of the Bulge alive.
Now, having been a vet during the latter part of the Second World War, now I'm always thinking about the guys I knew during that period, and the principal aim to do so is to honor them and not to forget them, because I feel it is important not to forget.
Like Maurice, many of Bastogne's citizens have carried the memory of that battle around for a lifetime. Giselle Henrion was 15. The battle was literally at her doorstep. She lost her father and her home.
Mais la bataille a continué.
As the battle continued, our house caught fire. There were dead and wounded everywhere. We threw everything we could out of the window into the garden. We covered the body of our father with clothing and anything we could grab and throw out the windows.
And my father decided to go outside the house to collect a little clean snow to make some hot beverage, not coffee. Coffee didn't exist at that time. And then he went into a meadow far from the house, and then the first explosion of the day happened. And we saw our father running back home. He kissed us without any word, and he lay down, he was died. He was dead, he was killed by a shell fragment. And he was lying in a pool of blood. Then we were, of course, crying, we were praying.
Henri Lochy was 9. He puts his memories of the battle on paper, painting what he remembers from a child's point of view.
When I make my painting in myself, I am living again all these events which I did not realize in this time were historical, but for me, as once again, were fantastic.
Leo Leblanc was a soldier in the American Army, and his brush with death at Bastogne is something he'll never forget.
Well, I remember Christmas Eve, which that part there I'll never forget, because I figured 5 minutes before Christmas I didn't think I'd see Christmas. That's the only thing I remember.
There are fewer veterans visiting Bastogne these days, but the city welcomes family members with open arms.
We think that the families of these veterans could come back and tell, well, my father was there, my grandfather was there. And then I think that the generation will feel that the message will come through also the generation of the veterans.
Bastogne receives about 85,000 visitors each year. A quarter of them are Americans. Of the 1,100 who registered for this year's march, almost half were American. This 25th anniversary of the march was a huge success, attracting record crowds. The 60th anniversary of the battle takes place in 2 years, and the city has big plans for that. From Bastogne, I'm Pam Portland.